Hey, I'm Cliffhanger, and this is the movie The Deep Dark. Ordinary miners discover, deep underground, an ancient tomb. Trapped after rock falls in a stone prison at a depth of 1,000 meters, the workers begin to suspect that this is not a burial chamber at all, but a prison for something truly horrific. The story begins in 1856, deep inside a coal mine. The workers are busy extracting valuable minerals. With them is a special bird, able to sense gas leaks before humans can. To brighten up their labor, the miners sing a song in chorus. It helps not only to live and build, but also to swing a pickaxe. One miner, breaking through the wall, notices that the bird has collapsed. The command "gas" is shouted. Everyone retreats from the gap. Not trusting the bird completely, they call for the old wise miner, blackened by soot to the state of a coal nugget. He climbs into the opening, carrying a candle on a long stick to check for the presence of gas. He notices incredible claws. He drops the candle. Gas ignites, and there is an explosion. The action shifts to Morocco, 1956. A young man, Amir, together with a friend, rides in the back of a truck headed to the recruitment station. The mine overseer is gathering new workers. This is a chance to rise up in life. Candidates are lined up in the yard, ordered to strip so the recruiter can examine their physical condition. A society without dignity or differentiation, stripped of meaning. Men are marked with colored paint, red for rejects, green for those fit for work. Amir's friend, because of a cough, is marked red. Amir receives the same mark, but his natural boldness and desperate poverty make him snatch the stamp and mark himself green. Amused by his character, the recruiter agrees to hire him and stamps his forehead. At this time, a scientist, Professor Berthier, arrives at the mine. He wanders among the workers, looking for the manager. The manager himself comes and leads the guest to his office. The professor has arrived for an expedition to a depth of 1,000 meters to take soil samples. The miners say it will take 2 weeks to dig. Impatient, Berthier offers the manager a bribe, money in an envelope, to accelerate the process. The manager agrees, but says even then it cannot be sooner than a week. Suddenly, an alarm sounds. An injured man is being brought up. The manager and Berthier rush to the infirmary, where nurses tend to the wounded miner with a broken leg. He had been pulled from under the collapse by his foreman, Roland. The professor insists Roland should lead the expedition. In his office, the manager explains the task to Roland: escort the tourist. The bribe money is placed on the table as a bonus for the workers. Reluctantly, Roland agrees. Amir is assigned to replace the injured worker. In the locker room, he meets the rest of the crew. Before the first descent, Roland gives the rookie a brief lesson. He assigns Luis to mentor him. The crew goes to their shift. Amir, wide-eyed, looks around the industrial site until they all cram into the narrow elevator cabin. They head down the tunnels to the wall that needs to be expanded. The team begins chipping with pickaxes, breaking rock with pneumatic drills, and hauling debris in carts. When Amir's lamp burns out, they send him for another. Wandering the tunnels, he runs into a colleague and a white horse, also working in the mine. At lunch, Roland notices Amir's cheese has been gnawed by a rat. Rats, like birds, are friends to miners because they warn of danger. Roland advises Amir to hang his bag higher, feeds the cheese to the rat, and gives Amir an apple instead. Thus passes Amir's first exhausting day. The next shift, Professor Berthier joins them, armed with a notebook and a flash camera to document the journey to the center of the Earth. They reach the spot where the demolition man places explosives. A new passage opens. Roland dislikes that the professor hides information. Berthier has a map of lower tunnels. Roland throws the notebook down the hole, forcing Berthier to descend first. Inside are man-made tunnels, ancient and precise. Roland recalls how, 100 years ago, an entire crew died in a fire here, and their bodies were never found. The workers split into groups to search for the professor. Amir, Luis, and Paul stumble on a skeleton of a long-dead miner. They loot it and find a strange stone. Amir also notices a bloody inscription warning of something roaming in the dark. Soon they regroup, finding Berthier taking pictures of something ahead. Annoyed, Roland chokes him to make clear who is in charge underground. They discover walls with ancient inscriptions. The professor believes behind them lies his true goal. He convinces Roland to blast through. A chamber opens, filled with columns, carvings, and skeletons. Among them lies a sarcophagus carved with grotesque long arms and a huge head. Berthier thinks it was once worshipped as a god. Roland pragmatically orders everyone to leave. But soon the horse panics, walls crack, and a collapse injures Santini's legs. While tending him, Amir is sent to fetch others. He finds Luis and Paul trying to open the sarcophagus. Amir notices the strange stone fits an opening, unlocking it. They slide the lid off, revealing a body and piles of gems. Luis threatens Amir, beats him, and urinates on the ancient skeletons. They divide the loot, but suddenly a hand with unnaturally long fingers emerges. The creature rises. In terror, the looters flee. The monster soon seizes Paul, drags him into the dark, and later his mutilated body is found. The crew blames Berthier, but he insists they are witnessing the remains of an ancient civilization that sacrificed humans. Amir suggests this is not a tomb, but a prison. They rush back for Santini, but the creature kills him too, tearing him apart. The survivors plot to trap the beast with dynamite. They return to the sarcophagus hall. Berthier studies inscriptions, with Amir helping translate. They learn the labyrinth was designed to contain the creature, but instead of a way out, they find a dungeon full of skeletons, volunteers who became sacrifices. The trail of blood leads them to the horse, ripped open. When the others lag, Berthier seals Amir inside with him. He confesses, the miners want him dead for starting this expedition. He believes the monster is not merely evil, but a herald of something greater. The awakening of Cthulhu, foretold by the mad Arab Abdul al-Hazred. Then, as they argue, the horse's carcass stirs. The monster emerges. Berthier, awestruck, embraces it, only to be crushed and killed. Amir flees, barely rescued by Roland and the others. With Berthier's notebook, Amir accuses Luis of greed and betrayal. Roland beats Luis, confiscates the jewels, and swears to return them to the families of the dead. Guided by the professor's notes, Amir leads them onward, but the monster hunts them, slitting throats in the dark. Eventually, only Amir and Roland survive together. Amir insists they must destroy it, or the world will end, but Roland wants only to escape. They reach an ancient pit filled with bones, once used to drop sacrifices. Amir realizes the inscriptions must be read right to left. This is the way out. But the monster attacks, seizing Amir. Dragged into a hellish throne room, Amir sees the beast using Luis's severed head to speak. It promises him godlike power if he helps it escape. Pretending to agree, Amir stabs it with a spearhead and flees. He reaches the sacrifice shaft, where Roland extends a hand. Together they climb, but the creature pursues them. Roland prepares to blow the dynamite, but realizes the key to the detonator was left below. Amir, second in line, descends back down into danger. He recovers the key, knowing he won't make it back in time, but Roland joins him. Together, they arm the detonator. As the monster reaches the dynamite, they activate it. The mine shakes with an explosion, and that's where the movie ends. If you want to see more videos like this, leave a like and subscribe. That helps my channel a lot. See you.